But first, there's a new slant to the allegations against former Labor MP Craig Thomson. This time, the opposition leader's accusing him of faking an alibi for the Prime Minister. That's how Tony Abbott has labelled Mr Thomson's defence, that evidence of him using union funds to pay for prostitutes and his political campaign was all set up by his enemies. And there are calls for the presumption of innocence to be overturned, at least in federal Parliament. Deborah Rice reports.
Craig Thomson has denied it all before, and the Labor-turned-independent MP is sticking to his claim that he was set up by enemies in the Health Services Union.
Amongst a whole range of other threats that were made to me, one was that they would ruin my potential political career.
Those enemies, he says, must have been able to access his 2 credit cards and driver's licence, to fake hotel records and to use his personal mobile phone to make it look as if he was spending union funds on prostitutes.
Well, but there's also records of hotels that show in rooms where you were staying, the phone calls made on the hotel phone of escort agency. Oh, this person must have been shadowing you, stalking you, ducking in and out of your room, picking up your phone when you weren't looking, making a furtive phone call, sneaking it back. I mean, it's fantasy, isn't it?
No, it's not at all.
Today's statement by Mr Thomson is essentially an attempt to give the Prime Minister an alibi to continue to cling to his vote in the Parliament.
Former Liberal Minister Nick Minchin has warned removing an MP's right to vote when allegations against him haven't even been examined by a court would set a dangerous precedent. But on the back of damning findings by Fair Work Australia, that's just what the current opposition wants the Prime Minister to do.
She cannot disown him in the caucus, but cling to him in the Parliament.
Lead that to the police, lead that to the courts, but once politicians start taking on the role of judge and jury, that is a very dangerous pathway for our democracy.
It's an issue that's continuing to prove a big distraction from the budget and the true business of Parliament. Deborah Rice, ABC News.